Hello, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be going over 3 ACT math questions. For all these problems, I recommend pausing the video and trying all the problems yourself first before you see me solve them. Without wasting any time, let's get into it. Question 30 says, in right triangle ABC shown below, sine C equals 5/7 and the length of AB is 14 inches. What is the length in inches of AC? So for this problem, we need to recall what sine is first. Remember, if we're trying to find sine of an angle, let's call it theta, it's going to be the side opposite from the angle, so the sine opposite from theta, over the hypotenuse of the triangle. So in this case, if we were trying to figure out what sine of C is, we would take the side opposite from angle C, which is AB, which is 14, right, over the hypotenuse of the triangle, which is AC. So we know that sine C equals 14 over AC, and also the problem tells us that sine C equals 5/7. If we're trying to figure out the length in inches of AC, we can set 14 over AC equal to 5/7, right? Because both of these equal sine C. And now we can just cross multiply to solve for AC, right? So it's going to be 14 times 7 equals 5 times AC. 14 times 7, that is 98, equals 5 times AC. And if I solve for AC, I would divide by 5, divide by 5. It would be 98 over 5 equals AC. And 98 over 5, that is 19.6. So the answer is J, 19.6. On to question 40, which says, a sphere with radius x inches has a volume of 12 cubic inches. What is the value of x? Note the volume of a sphere with radius r is 4/3 pi r cubed. So first I'll just rewrite the formula. V equals 4/3 pi r cubed, right? This is the volume of a sphere. In this problem, it tells us that a sphere has a volume of 12 cubic inches, so we can replace V with 12 equals 4/3 pi r cubed, and now we just have to solve for r. So what I would do first is I would multiply both sides by 3/4 to cancel out the 4/3 on the right side, because 4/3 times 3/4, that's just 1, and that gets rid of the 4/3. So 12 times 3/4, that is 12 times 3, which is 36, and 36 divided by 4 is 9. So you get 9 equals pi r squared, pi r cubed. And now I would divide by pi. So you get 9 over pi equals r cubed. And then now I would just take the cube root of the left side, so the cube root of 9 over pi, to completely isolate r, and you get r equals the cube root of 9 over pi. So the answer is H. On to the last question, question 52, which says, given that x plus 2 and x minus 1 are factors of the quadratic expression below, what are the values of a and b? So first, what I would do is I would take my two factors, x plus 2 and x minus 1, and I would multiply these to figure out what the quadratic expression is. So to do that, we would use FOIL. So we would do x times x first, which is x squared, plus x times -1, which is minus x, plus 2 times x, which is 2x, plus 2 times negative 1, which is minus 2. And if we combine like terms, we get x squared plus x minus 2 as our expression. So now the problem's asking us for the values of a and b, right? And we want to match this expression to this expression, right? They're the same expressions. So let's just look at a plus 2 times x first, right? Notice that the coefficient of the x term is 1, right? And in this case, the coefficient of the x term, that is a plus 2. We want a plus 2 times x to equal x, right? This means a plus 2 has to equal 1. Since we want to match the equations, the coefficients have to be the same. So you set a plus 2 equal to 1. Now, if I solve for a, I get a equals negative 1. So this becomes x squared plus x plus a plus b, right? Because if we plug in negative 1 for a, negative 1 plus 2 is 1, and 1 times x is x. So now, notice we don't have to worry about the x squared term or the x term, right? Because they're good. They match the quadratic expression. This means that a plus b, which is the only thing left, that's going to equal negative 2, right? And we can solve for b because we know that a equals negative 1. Negative 1 plus b, that's going to equal negative 2. And now we can just solve for b. We get b equals negative 1. So a equals negative 1 and b equals negative 1. Which matches k. And yeah, I hope my explanations made sense, and thank you for watching.